been, small business owners are suffering to try to get ahead of this coronavirus. But we have had a case that we've been investigating along with Inman. Inman actually signed some warrants today on a gentleman by the name of Jeffrey Travis Long for falsifying and saying that he had COVID-19 coronavirus. He worked at Cytel, and this caused them to shut their business down for 5 days and do a major cleaning, when in fact he does not have this virus. It's bad enough that everybody's life has been put in upheaval, just trying to stay safe and get ahead of the curve here and get a grip on this coronavirus without having somebody to cause basically massive panic. I can't imagine the stress that it caused on his co-workers, certainly his employer. I don't know the number, dollar number, that it cost them to disinfect their whole entire building and have everybody checked and what have you, but it was a large number. It wasn't $100. It was more than that. So I have confirmed with Chief Keith Tucker, who was here with us from the Inman Police Department, that this gentleman had a doctor's excuse that wasn't written on letterhead or anything like that. Basically, you can make it up from your house, and it seems to me like the fellow just wanted a 2-week paid vacation. But we're going to give him a little time over in the Hotel California. You can't do this to people. I mean, it's already bad enough that people are excited and having anxiety about this thing that they probably won't even get. To have somebody to do this is just absolutely crazy. So the Inman Chief is here. He can answer more questions about this if you want to talk with him. But there's 2 warrants been signed on Jeffrey Travis Long of 231 Johnson Avenue in Inman by the Inman Police Department. One is a breach of peace, and the other one is a forgery that didn't allow him to collect any kind of money or anything. So, I mean, this is, like I say, everybody's job has been affected in some way. Your job has been affected. There's been talk about this coronavirus in just about every second of the day. So I want to go ahead and put some things out there about this coronavirus that people have been calling and asking me. I have heard nothing about the National Guard going to quarantine us in our own home. So that's Facebook stuff, and I just, I'm in contact with everything that the governor is putting out and saying to law enforcement about the help that we need, and none of that's been said. So I want to go ahead and quiet your fears down with that. Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office will be signing another forgery warrant on this gentleman as soon as our paperwork is completed. We have some things that we'll need to go through that have been mailed to us. They just haven't been here yet, and we're not going to tolerate that mess. So if you go to tell your employer and they shut down their business, be looking for us to come and see you about this. And we hope nobody certainly gets the coronavirus, but to cause mass hysteria over it is absolutely not going to work. So if I have Chief Keith Tucker here, if you want to talk to him. I have the Mayor Cornelius Huff and Jimmy Bobo and Dr. Ron Gardner for District 1. One of the charges was because he went to the school, and you got everybody upset on the staff there thinking that they'd been exposed to this. So I'll try to answer your question. Come on closer.
How did y'all find out about this? How did you find out it was fake?
Chief, you want to speak to that?
Absolutely. Based on the doctor's excuse that was wrote, we looked at it. I contacted the gentleman's hospital that he went to and confirmed that the date that in question was not there. Matter of fact, the date in question, they wasn't even given tests at that time for it. So we've done some more verifying, going through different things and different channels to try to confirm or deny. And based on the side of caution, we just kept on going and going and going, and found out that it's not an accurate diagnosis. It's not true, and also that the paperwork he gave is false.
So if anybody wants to know why we kept going further, you know, if we do have a confirmed case here, we want to know everybody that's been in contact with, so we can alert them, you know, because we're public servants too, and especially our schools. We don't want our babies and the people that work at our schools, you know, to have any contact with somebody that may have this virus. That's the reason why the governor shut the schools down.
So did y'all get a tip that this was fake, or is this something y'all are gonna be doing going forward, like looking at any cases?
Well, we always going to look at those kind of cases and make sure they're not false. But if you come up and say you got that virus, you might better have it. You know, you might better have some kind of documentation proof, because we're not wanting to put him in jail. We're thankful that he don't have the coronavirus, but you can't cause public hysteria, you know, because you're on a 2-week vacation. So.
What kind of time is he looking at?
Well, one of them's a magistrate court level, so that's a maximum of 30 days. And the other one's going to be bumped up, I think, to the high court misdemeanor, so it could carry up to a couple of years.
Up to 10.
10 years. Ooh.
Up to 10.
Yeah, for a 14-day vacation.
So is he in custody or not?
He was being sought after as we spoke. So he probably is actually on his way to jail now, but we'll give you an update on that.
Okay.
Okay?
Has the company, have they said anything about this situation?
Yeah, I reached out to them, and they were very limited on what they wanted to say because of privacy for their people that work there. And they're basically going to default to everything that we are telling you, because basically that's it. I mean, they closed the business down and did the right thing by having the place decontaminated at a pretty good cost, I might say. So they're going forward with this and putting people back to work and doing the right things.
What's the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office doing in this time, just to like procedure-wise with people in terms of coronavirus, in terms of just being safe in general?
Well, we're asking our deputies to certainly wash their hands more, be cautious about people who are coughing around them, those kind of things, because, you know, when we put them in the patrol cars, we're kind of confined with them, so we're letting the windows down, those kind of things. And they're testing, it's affected our detention center more than it is affecting the roadside, because when we take people in, they're just checking to make sure they're not running a fever and have those symptoms.
One of our producers just texted me, they wanna know if DHAC tipped y'all off about this.
No, basically, when you see the thing that he wrote up, it's not anything official at all. It's just a printed piece of paper, you know, that says, and I'll give you a chance to get a close-up of this, but I mean, anything comes from the VA is going to have some kind, because it's from the federal government, they got to have their name all over everything, so, you know, that was kind of a tip-off to us, too.
We did reach out to DHEC and speak with them about this, just to confirm if anything else, retest or anything like that.
Are there any accomplices in this, you don't know?
You know, we don't know at this time. There might have been somebody close to him that helped further this, but we'll see if we can prove it. If we can't prove it, obviously we won't go any further with it.
Do you think that companies should also be taking this step before y'all do, maybe, when somebody brings it up like this?
I would tell everybody to follow the emergency guidelines that the federal government and the state government has put out. You know, there are things in place now that they're sending out publicly for public announcements. You know, make sure that people don't have the symptoms that they're not supposed to have. And if you got a question, just send them home. It's better to just send folks home. You know, if we have anybody here that has that, I'm going to put them at home on pay and certainly get them all the proper care they need and testing. But, you know, so far we've been very fortunate. All right? We very much so appreciate y'all being here, and Dr. Garner, I'm going to speak for him one time. We are going to take care of our babies at school. We are going to protect them at all costs, and the teachers. You know, they have a hard enough time dealing with the things they have to deal with, much less somebody come in and cause them public panic like this. So,
Could you describe more about the visit that he went to a school? Did he have children there, or what was the scenario? Why did he go to the school?
he does have students there, and I'm not going to speak to the age.
Okay.
But if I'm not mistaken, his wife brought this up to the school.
Yes, sir. We, you know, not being a law enforcement officer, I'm not going to speak to the details or the facts of what they are currently investigating. But I do thank the sheriff and the chief, because they put the safety and security of our students and our teachers first and foremost all the time. So just appreciate the work that they putting into keeping them safe. So.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and tell you that Sergeant Tony Brown's doing the investigation on the other part of it, and he's very thorough and very complete. And if we have enough to charge him with another one, we will. So, all right. I appreciate you coming. Thank you. I'm going to leave this this excuse that was sent for y'all to peruse around on. I'm gonna let them.
Want to take the report off?